Hawkeye, finally realizing how cheeks the Avengers have become, changes his name to Hansel and decides to move to Germany to become a witch hunter with his long-lost sister Gretel. The two of them dress in demon-like clothes and carry weapons resembling that of a 10-year-old papier-mâché project. Hansel and Gretel are people who hunt down witches who try to feed kids to look like Nikado avocado, so that they can cook them like a rotisserie chicken. When they were kids abandoned by their father deep in a forest, young Hansel and Gretel enter a gingerbread house and are quickly nabbed by the old witch who resides in it. The witch forces Hansel to continuously eat candy while making Gretel prepare the oven, but before she has a chance to eat them, the siblings outsmart her and throw her into the oven. As it turns out, the siblings are immune to witch spells, however what they aren't immune to is diabetes. Hansel fell victim to the Nikado avocado escapade and developed diabetes after eating too many Haribo.
That was $18. Diabetes!
One day, in the German town of Augsburg, Hansel and Gretel prevent Sheriff Beringer from executing Mina, a young woman falsely accused of witchcraft. The mayor has hired the siblings to find and rescue several children abducted by witches in the past few days. The duo investigates a lone cottage to find a witch living on her own. She tries to flee but gets blasted off her broomstick. Then continues to run away like a dog, making strange noises instead of just running on two legs. The witch tries to tear Hansel in two, but since he is playing with hacks he takes no damage. She then puts trees in his way, thinking wood is going to stop him. Fucking noob. Gretel apprehends the witch before Hansel bodies her like a WWE wrestler, taking her down, and then tying her up like a BDSM playtoy. The sheriff hires men to go and find the children, but when they set up camp they are approached by a lady. As it turns out, she ends up being a witch and possesses the dogs, killing all the men. She sends one of them back to declare a message, but instead he just explodes. Hansel and Gretel, with the help of the mayor's assistant Jackson, ambush and capture the tall witch, and after very long-winded, copied and pasted chase sequence with this lesbian-looking witch, they take her back to the town and interrogate her. They discover that the witches are preparing for the Feast of the Blood Moon, which requires sacrificing 12 children, 6 boys and 6 girls, each born on a separate month. When the siblings find out that the witches need one more girl to complete their ritual, the sheriff refuses to cooperate with them in locating her. Suddenly, the town is attacked by the witches and troll and abduct the targeted girl. The head witch fights off Gretel and the assistant, missing every shot like a 6-year-old Call of Duty player. Gretel is knocked unconscious throughout the ordeal while the assistant gets killed. Meanwhile, Hansel tries to save the girl getting taken but is interrupted by a red-haired crazy witch who tries to bite off his dick. So, he beats the shit out of her with a milk bottle. Hansel grabs her by her broomstick, but is lost in the forest. The next morning, Hansel is found by Mina hanging upside down from a tree. He tries to use calm and collected riz before falling and somehow not breaking his neck. Meanwhile, Gretel enters the forest to search for her brother, but he is too busy having sexy time with his friend. Gretel is assaulted by the sheriff and his men, who are arresting her for luring the witches to their town. Then, from out of nowhere, the troll charges at the men and mutilates them before bringing Gretel to a waterfall to mend her injuries. When asked by Gretel why he saved her, he tells her that trolls serve witches before he walks away. After their journey, Hansel and Gretel finally found themselves at the old, forgotten cabin, a place that held a secret they were about to discover. Little did they know that this seemingly empty cabin had a dark past, serving as the hideout of a wicked witch. To their astonishment, Muriel, the malevolent witch, emerged before them. She began to unravel the long-buried truth about their family history. It was revealed that their mother, Adriana, was a white witch who had dared to defy her own kind by marrying a farmer. Her love for their father was genuine, but the White Witch Coven condemned her for breaking their traditions. The blood moon loomed large in their lives, and on its ominous night, dark forces sought to extract the heart of a white witch to brew a potion that would grant immunity to fire. However, Adriana's immense power made her unsuitable for the sacrifice, and Muriel cunningly set her sights on the unsuspecting Gretel, who unknowingly possessed the same magical heritage. Muriel spread vicious rumors throughout the village, portraying Adriana as an evil sorceress responsible for evil deeds. The villagers, fueled by fear and anger, turned against Hansel and Gretel, leading their father to make a heart-wrenching decision. In a desperate attempt to protect them, he left the siblings in the forest. Tragically, upon his return, their father faced the wrath of the angry mob and met a cruel end. Adriana suffered an even more dreadful fate, condemned to burn at the stake as the villagers watched. The siblings battle Muriel before Muriel stabs Hansel and abducts Gretel for the ceremony. Hansel wakes up to the sight of Mina, who reveals herself to be a white witch as she healed his wounds. At first he is apprehensive, but she explains that she is a force for good and wants to help. Mina uses magic to bless the weapons so that they can one-shot all the witches. The trio set out to disrupt the Feast of the Blood Moon atop a treacherous hill where the malevolent ritual was to take place. Mina displays her power, mowing down all of the wicked witches with a powerful Gatling gun, while Hansel bravely faced off against Muriel's minions, liberating the captive children along the way. Amidst the chaos, the troll, formerly under Muriel's control, rebelled against her and released Gretel before meeting a tragic end. As the Blood Moon's power waned with the arrival of the sunrise, the malevolent ceremony crumbled, forcing Muriel and her surviving witches to flee on their broomsticks. However, the siblings and their allies were ready for them. Cunning traps were laid, and Muriel's wicked coven met their demise. In a final act of bravery, Ben shot Muriel from her broomstick, bringing her reign of terror to a resounding end. Amidst the aftermath of the fierce battle, Gretel discovered the unconscious troll and miraculously revived him using her stun gun. With the trail of clues left by Muriel, they arrived at an old gingerbread house, which served as the stage for the final confrontation. Inside the eerie dwelling, the siblings and Mina fought a grueling battle against Muriel, who fought with all her might to preserve her wicked reign. Mina's bravery ultimately led to her sacrifice, as she shielded Hansel and Gretel from Muriel's fatal blow. Their hearts heavy with grief, Hansel and Gretel drew upon the strength of their shared past and their mother's legacy to face Muriel. In a climactic showdown, they brought her down, decapitating her with a shovel. With Muriel's tyranny finally put to rest, the siblings were hailed as heroes upon their return to the village. But even in the triumph of the moment, their hearts were filled with sadness over the loss of Mina. As they collected their reward for rescuing the children, they knew that their journey was far from over. The movie ends with everyone together with their loyal friends, Ben and the troll, Hansel and Gretel embracing the uncertainties of the future, determined to carry on against evil and protect the innocent from darkness. Thank you for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe and remember to turn on notifications to get the best rap cinema updates.